What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on MMTLP and FINRA saga.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed, born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
And for today's video guys, I have an amazing news. First of all, I will show you very interesting investigation that was made by Daniel, by your favorite SGM. And I will show you quite important update from the 2023 and end of 2022 with the mind-boggling data that pretty much exposes the wrongdoers. On top of that, I will show you a legal recap of all of the lawsuits and its current status, and I will show you the most recent lawsuit, and I will explain you why this lawsuit might be extremely important to identify the real date of statute of limitation. On top of that, guys, I will show you that the potential price of next bridge hydrocarbon shares, according to the most recent lawsuits, is somewhere in between $50 all the way up to $500. And at the end of this video, if I have enough time, I will show you another evidence that FINRA lied in their own filings and they violated their own rules. So, and before we dive deep into all of these, guys, please hit the like button for YouTube algorithm and drop me a line in the comment section if you think my videos are valuable for you. And let's start with this tweet that was written by your favorite SGM, by Daniel, the person who filed a lawsuit just several weeks ago. And for now, he found out quite interesting data. Let me show you and let me remind you basically that just yesterday I showed you his investigation in regards to the volume that was discovered by him back in November, December of 2022. Previously, it was quite ordinary volume, but for now, guys, he has quite interesting update. So, he wrote, okay, version 3 is ready. I think this template works. Now to start cranking out TRCH, MMAT and MMATQ and some similar stocks for an apples-to-apples comparison for the same time periods. There is some crazy stuff going on in this chart, right? And guys, take a look closer at this chart. You can see, let me show you first of all like this. You can see that we have several lines and we have a timeline at the bottom of the screen, and we have a trading volume in millions of dollars and the price. The price is red line and the trading volume is blue line, as you can see right here. And we have the extreme anomalies, more than 7.31x of average volume. And guys, take a look right here that on October the 12th we have extremely high volume with the spike of the price. Potentially it was some kind of actions that brought a lot of liquidity to MMTLP trading volume, and this was the result, and as the result I would say we had quite substantial movement of the price of the stock to the upside. On top of that, guys, right here you can see that right after that the price went higher and higher and it reached more than $12 mark, but at the same time the volume was extremely low. And right before the U3 halt on December the 8th, we have quite a substantial trading volume, during which a lot of shares were dumped right before the U3 halt. And guys, this is quite a substantial anomaly because potentially someone knew about the trading halt, and if it is the reality, definitely we have to find out who was behind the scenes, who orchestrated these movements. On top of that, guys, let me show you another tweet that was made by Daniel, and here it is. On January the 2nd, he wrote this tweet and he said, I tell you what's really crazy is the trading data I got my hands on. Had trades after the halt and deletion. That was new information for me anyhow. Seriously, isn't this thing deleted? How does that happen? And guys, take a look right here. He added this table where you can clearly see that V2, GTS Securities, Concord Genuity and other firms traded metamaterials. Here you can see the date on your top right side, and as you can see, the dates are right after the U3 halt was implemented. Basically, the latest date is January the 3rd of 2023. And you can see that there is a bunch of companies who traded metamaterials stock, MMTLP. As you can see, ticker symbol is right here. And it is a GTS Securities, De Minimis Firms, Citadel Securities, Concord Genuity, Virtu Americas. And guys, don't you think that all of these companies are quite familiar to MMTLP community? Definitely, this might be another quite substantial evidence that something happened behind the scenes right after the U3 halt was implemented. On top of that, guys, let me show you another update. Wait a second. Here is the recap of all of the lawsuits that we have on the table right now. And let me quote you all of them one by one. And the most important one is the last one that was filed, as you can see right here, on December the 30th of this year, just less than a week ago. And let me quote you this. Included below are all the pending legal actions regarding the MMTLP fiasco as of January the 3rd of 2024. Summaries and court listener links included. First lawsuit is Todd Targart versus Knightsbridge Hydrocarbons et al. Class action lawsuit in Texas Northern District Court. And here you can see the link, and here you can see defendants of this lawsuit, and here is the status. Change of venue on August 12, 2024. Motion to dismiss filed, motion to dismiss response, rebuttal to motion to dismiss, response filed. And I have to admit that the upcoming data for this lawsuit is anticipated within the next several weeks, and definitely I will do an update to inform you about this lawsuit. On top of that, here is the metamaterials lawsuit related to its bankruptcy. And to be honest, MMTLP community are not so interested in this case. Let me show you the next one. Again, Securities and Exchange Commission versus Burda. And the change of venue was filed on November 26 of 2024, a leave to file motion to dismiss. And guys, based on this lawsuit, a lot of lawsuits were filed against Burda and Knightsbridge Hydrocarbons. And to be honest, I don't want to say that someone is guilty in this case. I just want to tell you that we have to investigate it, and we have to see the judge's ruling. And so far, guys, the most important information is that John Burda was fined, and George Palakers was also fined by Securities and Exchange Commission. Next one, Intercoastal Waterways LLC versus Trade Station Securities. And complaint is following violations of federal securities laws. And this lawsuit was filed by Mark Basil's firm, and the plaintiff in this lawsuit is Anna Trades. And here is the current status. Case dismissed against Financial Industry Regulatory Authority. Motion to appeal order to arbitration voluntarily dismissed with prejudice. Plans to refile as class action discussed. And guys, Mark Basil stated just several weeks ago that he might switch this lawsuit to class action lawsuit, but not for all MMTLP shareholders, but only for shareholders who hold their shares at Trade Station Securities. And this might lead to quite interesting conclusion. First of all, there is not so many people, probably up to 100 people at most, who held their shares at Trade Station Securities. This means this class action lawsuit will be potentially quite lucrative for all of these shareholders, but it might disclose a lot of sensitive information that might shed a lot of light to other potential lawsuits, and that might help other lawsuits to be successful. That is why, guys, we have to keep a close eye on this lawsuit. Next one, Scott Roth versus Ari Rubinstein. The status is following. Compliance against Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, GTS Securities, Gary Gensler, Ari Rubinstein dismissed. Schwab motion to arbitrate ordered. Motion to reconsider filed. On top of that, guys, the writ of mandamus was also filed by Scott just a couple of days ago. And for some reasons, I don't see this information right here. But this is, in my opinion, despite the fact that Scott just recently made not the most, let's say, wise action in regards to the next bridge hydrocarbons PR. But in general, his lawsuit, in my opinion, is quite promising. Next one, Tracy Albert versus Securities and Exchange Commission et al. And guys, next several lawsuits are quite similar one to another. Tracy Albert versus Securities and Exchange Commission, Brad Davis versus Next Bridge Hydrocarbons, next one, Spears versus Securities and Exchange Commission, Matthew Peace versus Securities and Exchange Commission, Contic Wilcott versus Securities and Exchange Commission, Jennifer Vetrano versus Securities and Exchange Commission. And all of these lawsuits are quite similar one to another. But here we have another I would say unique lawsuit that was filed by Daniel Oxer, and Marcus E. Montero was added as a plaintiff just several days ago. And the status of this lawsuit is following. First amended complaint filed on December 27th of 2024. Dismissed claims against previous defendants. No summons issued. And guys, this is another very promising, in my opinion, lawsuit. And with the most recent update of this data that Daniel found that a lot of companies traded MMTLP shares after the U3 halt might also be quite useful in this case. On top of that, guys, I want to pay attention to the very last lawsuit that was filed on December the 30th, just 6 days ago, and it is Jason Roller versus Securities and Exchange Commission et al. And this lawsuit was also filed as pro se, so it means it was filed without help of professional attorneys, and the defendants are Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation, John Doe, Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, and Securities and Exchange Commission. Status is following. Complaint filed, summons issued. And guys, why this lawsuit is very important in our case? And here is why. It was filed after the potential statute of limitations deadline. This means, guys, I don't know the exact procedure how the judge will identify this statute of limitations deadline, but if the judge makes any decision in regards to this lawsuit except the denial of all of the claims, it will be, in my opinion, a victory. Because in this case, the statute of limitations deadline is still somewhere ahead of us, and at this very moment we can only rely on the December the 9th as the date when the fraud happened, and potentially, as I already mentioned, if any decisions except the denial of this lawsuit happens, we might make a conclusion that the statute of limitations is not a problem anymore. But guys, take a look right here. This is this lawsuit in details, and I want to show you a prayer for relief. And I want to pay attention to just one part of this lawsuit, and here it is. Referral for DOJ investigation. Recommend that the U.S. Department of Justice conduct a full investigation into the conduct of the defendants and unidentified market participants for potential violations of the Anti-Money Laundering Act and related federal statutes, including market manipulation, fraud, and other financial crimes. 2. Equitable relief for market and procedural irregularities. A. Order that plaintiff is entitled to equitable relief for the market and procedural irregularities affecting metamaterials shares with compensation for share values ranging from $45 to $26.78 per share for more than 13,000 shares as a remedy for the devaluation of MMAT resulting from the improper halting of MMTLP trades on December the 9th and 12th of 2022. And guys, I have to admit that it is quite interesting paragraph because it is very debatable how the MMTLP halt might affect and could affect the MMAT shares, but in my opinion it is two completely separate actions that leaded us to this not so pleasant results for MMTLP and for MMTLP. At some point in time, somewhere in 2021, it was just one company, and yes, at that moment we had a potential influence of one ticker symbol to another. But to be honest, I don't think that the U3 halt that was implemented on MMTLP affected the price of MMAT shares. So, and here is the subsection B. Order that plaintiff is entitled to equitable relief for the market and procedural irregularities affecting MMTLP shares with compensation for share values ranging from $43.21 to $417 per share for 1,675 shares as a remedy for the improper halting of trades on December 9th and 12th of 2022. And guys, these numbers are much more real, and I think it might be the real damages for the shareholders. But at the same time, guys, I didn't have enough time to read this lawsuit in its entirety, but the main obstacle on the path to the resolution for now for this lawsuit is to break the limit, the statute of limitations. And right after that, we can rely on these numbers as a potential payments per share for MMTLP shareholders, not earlier. And that is why, guys, we have to keep in mind on the first judge's decision. And that is why, guys, stay tuned and see you in the next video.
And guys, let me tell you my personal story. I have a wife and two children aged 11 and 15, as well as a small dog. After 30 years of living in Russia near the Baikal Lake, we decided to move. Now we reside in Serbia. Although I don't own any MMTLP shares, I invest a lot of time creating daily MMTLP videos. I have been doing this every day without days off and holidays for more than 1.5 years. Now I wish to buy back this time from my family, from my children. We've agreed that I will ask the MMTLP community to support me, and I will give all the money to the children. Therefore, if you believe that I am providing useful content for you and wish to support me, you can join my Patreon account. For $5 a month, I will add your name to my list of supporters if you wish. Thank you in advance. The link you can find in the description below. So, I think that's all information that I want to provide you. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, and see you guys and girls next time. Bye!
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gone live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life, I'm crazy, I'm mad. Doing no cap.